Hi, today we are looking at issue 2 of Storm, written by Murewa Ayodele, drawn by Lucas Werneck, and colored by Alex Guimaräes. Full spoilers ahead, so you're forewarned. The theme of labors and division by said labors continue in this issue. Storm is many things: a mutant, an X-Man, an Avenger, and a sorcerer by heritage, if not by training. And in this issue, she's discriminated for 2 of them and chastised for 1. Storm saved a ship from pirates, but the captain and some of the crew chose only to see her as a danger because she is a mutant. Hi, Future Tyler here. Is it me, or does it seem like the captain is a bigot to begin with and only use the Oklahoma event as an excuse to justify his own prejudice? I say that because even though Storm just saved them, 1, he did not even thank her, and 2, prevented one of the crew member from giving Storm some water. Yeah, that much is clear. He did not even attempt to hide his contempt, and Ayodele made it plain with the quotes around accidentally. Meanwhile, as Storm's radiation sickness worsened, she sought out medical attention by heading to the hospital for the extra mundane. I find the interaction with the guard kind of odd, like how he thought he recognized Storm as an X-Man and then a friend. Like, is that an Easter egg or some inside joke of some sort that, flew over my head? I actually do not know either, but Storm gained access because she's an Avenger. And when she met Dr. Day, she was rejected treatment. Dr. Day, who seemingly forgot about his Hippocratic oath and is seemingly a bigot against mutants, until it was revealed that he was just discriminating against a subset of mutants, the X-Men. So while it was a real surprise for me when it turns out that Dr. Day is a mutant with the ability for medical diagnosis, as it does Storm, judging by her reaction, I did not find it odd that he discriminated against Storm and X-Men, because if you think it is not possible for mutants to be a bigot towards other mutants, think again. Discrimination within a marginalized community is a real thing. In fact, one can slice and dice a collective in many ways, and if there is a way to group people differently, some people will make the case for discrimination. I mean, sadly, that is true. But what I find odd is the reason Dr. Day gave for not treating X-Men. It sounds really petty to me, and also odd is that he changes his mind abruptly when Storm gave him a family heirloom. That kind of threw me off and took me out of the story. But Storm's voice in that scene, though, is on point. Agree. It is also pretty cool that Dr. Day could simply send the referral letter in a magical envelope, which I assume is not part of his mutant powers. And then Storm gets chastised for not being a sorcerer, which is also odd. From my admittedly faulty memory, OH and whatnot, the only time I remembered Storm fully embracing that part of her heritage was the alternate version that got trapped in limbo when the X-Men failed to rescue young Ileana. That was way back in Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, issue 160, and then later in the first Magic mini-series. This issue reads pretty fast, perhaps because of how many of the story beats get sped up, and also perhaps because the art relied on a lot of large panels. It is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a nice segue to the next section. The art is, as expected, beautifully drawn, especially when it comes to Storm, and especially the white and gold outfit. I'm glad the I will wear whatever I want and not stick to just one costume thing is still happening here. It is absolutely stunning, you're right. I also love the way Werneck drew the action scenes with Storm in that costume as she flash freeze the water and glided on it before ramming into a pirate. Also great is when Storm was rushing off to Dr. Voodoo, the vortex effect of her zooming off at high speed, that looks really cool. The silent montage of Storm in her sanctuary is also wonderfully drawn and lit, especially the showers page with the sun beaming in to hide sensitive spots uh, and the trees in the background. Like, it is fun to let the art drive the narrative, but it sometimes meant that the issue reads pretty fast, as mentioned earlier. But you know, if the art is this good though, I do not mind. We also get a pretty wonderful title page outside of the theme credits page, which seems rather redundant, but again, if it is good, I do not mind. And that splash page of the whale and Storm, that looks absolutely pin-up worthy. While Storm's hair took the cake last issue, her cape caught my attention several times in this one, and this splash page is the one that is drawn magnificently, as was the page when she glided on the surface of the frozen water. Now, if I have to nitpick, the doctor scene appears a little rushed and less finished looking, especially with the really blank walls in his office. But in that same scene, as Storm seethed quietly, lightning could be seen outside of the windows. I think that's a nice touch. There is also one shot of Storm handing her card to the guard that threw me off initially, because her Avengers card looked absolutely large until I realized it is a perspective thing where her hand and the card is nearer to the reader than the rest of Storm. I think maybe a little bit of blurring, digital blurring would have solved the issue. So, in conclusion, while this is not a perfect issue of comics, it is still a very good issue, despite some odd bits that kind of took me out of the story a little. I would rate this a 4 out of 5. Agree. The story moves along at a fast clip, and the art for the majority of this issue is really stunning. So this is a must buy. If you enjoy this video, please leave us a like and subscribe. Please share this with your friends and drop a comment below. Thanks, and Tyler out.